Good morning, beautiful person. Greetings from cloudy and weird, but not just raining. Not raining, Winnipeg. It is not going to rain until I get home. I hereby declare that. Worked yesterday. So, my name is Hadass Viatar. I am a life coach and a wellness advocate, and I help you make your self-care easy and convenient. Now, you may have noticed that I was offline for a couple of days, or you may not have, of course. Now, I'm always offline on Saturdays. From Friday night till Saturday night, I'm always offline. But usually you'll see me doing like a walk and a Facebook Live on Sundays, but not this week because it was Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. You may have heard me mention it. And now we are in the period known as the Days of Awe. So 10 days between Rosh Hashanah, which is the New Year, and Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement, which starts next week, Sunday evening. And it's 25 hours of complete fasting, no food, no water, nothing. We just go to the synagogue and have a conversation with our souls about cleaning up our mess from the past year. And certainly 5780 was a doozy, and we want 5781 to be a much better year. So definitely a lot of motivation this year to work on our souls. So anyway, what do we do during the Days of Awe, during the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur? So Jewish tradition says that our fate for the coming year is written by God in the book on Rosh Hashanah, and then it's sealed. They used to use sealing wax to make the ink permanent. It used to be that the ink, you could just be wiped off until such time as you sealed it. And so the idea is that it's sealed on Yom Kippur. And you can still change the writing before it's sealed. So the idea is to use the 10 days of awe, the days of awe, or the 10 days of repentance, as they're also called, to use those days as a time to make your peace and to clean up all the garbage that you're dealing with. And there's garbage mostly in relationships. There's lots of relationships that you're talking about here. There's your relationship with God, okay? And if you have done something that you feel God needs to forgive you with, or maybe God's done something that you feel that you need to forgive them, you know what? It's a relationship is two-way. That is a conversation that you can only have with God, with yourself, with your inner guide, whatever it is that you want to call it. And then there's the relationship between you and the people around you. And, that is why we have the tradition. It was even in Pearls Before Swine in Saturday's paper. My kids were absolutely tickled. It's traditional to go and ask for forgiveness from anyone whom you may have wronged. And the interesting thing is that if somebody asks you for forgiveness, you're also supposed to give it. And that's much harder. Well, it can be much harder. It doesn't have to be. It can be very hard to go and talk to somebody that you would rather just pretend they didn't exist. But you know what? That poison is going to stay in your soul. But maybe you don't have to talk to them in real life. Maybe they're not around anymore. Maybe they're dead. Maybe it's not safe for you to actually talk with them in person. It doesn't matter. You can have that conversation in your own head, and you can decide to let go and not poison yourself anymore. And then there's the relationship with society, with nature, with yourself. If you've ever come to Rabbi Neil and Carol Rose's alternative high holiday service, then you know what I'm talking about. But even if you haven't, then by the way, our service is, I believe, on YouTube. You can look up Congregation Etz Chaim on YouTube and take a look at what we were doing. But anyway, I digress. The point that I wanted to talk about today, and I'll need to be quick because, as usual, my phone's not doing so great. At least it's not cold today. What I wanted to talk about quickly is about forgiveness not being about them. And the them could be you. You might need to forgive yourself. But the thing is that if there's a person out there that you're saying, I can never forgive this person did something so egregious, so horrible, so terrible. I'm thinking about Wilma Dirksen, for example. Her daughter Candace was murdered in the 80s, And there's a guy who was, I think Mark Grant, I don't remember. He was brought to trial, he was found guilty, and then he was found not guilty on appeal and so on. But the point is that she decided that she was going to forgive him. And how can you forgive the person whom you firmly believe actually murdered your child? I mean, it doesn't get much more egregious than that, does it? But she chose, and now I don't know why she chose. I believe she's written a book about it, but I will admit I haven't read it. But she is a Christian, and she made her choice to bring her mind and her soul to peace by choosing not to obsess about this guy, not to go around hating this guy, not to be, that famous eating poison and expecting the other person to die. Because how she feels and what she does doesn't have any effect on him. So she can be at peace or she can be tortured. For him, it's the same. So it's not about him, and it's not about anyone who's done something that you feel they deserve, they don't deserve. It doesn't matter what they did. It doesn't matter what they deserve. What matters is if you feel that for your peace, you should let go of the anger, the obsession, the pain, the resentment, the whatever it is. If you feel that your peace would be enhanced by no longer giving this person space in your mind, then that's what you do, and that's what we call forgiveness. It's not about them. For them, it's the same. It doesn't matter. They have their own personal hell, undoubtedly, and it's not your problem and not your business. Though the point is that you can choose to not give them space in your mind. And I know it sounds terrible, it sounds really hard, and how can you do that? Especially if it's someone that is in your life still, and you carry that resentment and it comes up every time you see them. It's a practice. And I strongly recommend Gabrielle Bernstein's work on this. She just happens to resonate with me. Somebody else might resonate with you. But anyway, just a reminder that in this time in which we are required or asked to consider forgiving those who have done the unforgivable, remember that it's not about them. It does not absolve them. It does not condone in any way what they did. All it does is improve your inner peace so that you are no longer punishing yourself for what somebody else did. So you have a great day. Remember, I love you. If you like this sort of thing, then I have a mailing list in which I send one email a week. What time is it? 9:20 here in Winnipeg. So in 10 minutes, this week's email will be going out. So if you only join the mailing list now, you're too late for this one, but you can get next week's. And so if you like this sort of mindset thing, drop me a message and I'll be happy to add you to that, and you'll get one email a week. So have a great day. Remember, I love you. Gmar Chatima Tova to anyone who celebrates. Have a great week to everyone else. Talk to you again soon. Bye.